Hello, good afternoon, everyone. This is Bodhi from Microsoft, and welcome you all. I welcome you all to Midas Elite Training Series of 2016, and we are at session 3 today. We will be discussing steel composite bridge wizard in a bit of different way. Uh, if I'm audible to everyone, you can just raise your hands in the in the menu there. I hope I'm audible to everyone. If I'm audible, I request you to raise your hand. Okay, so I will start with the webinar today. So the basic agenda of today's webinar will be, what we'll do is that I will give you a brief overview of the steel composite bridge wizard. That is a new feature in Midas Civil, from where you can get your steel composite bridge done within few minutes. So the major focus, however, will not be on that, because many webinars have already been given over steel composite bridge wizard and how to use that wizard effectively and other things. The major focus will be in and around that wizard, like how do you create standard section properties which can be used in various projects, and like default section properties, how do you create that thing, and how do you modify the model using after the wizard, after you have constructed the bridge using the wizard, how do you modify the model? So what are the different ways of modifications, how you can play with the Midas text file. So there is a command file for Midas, how you can play and you can edit things in that. And we'll also cover the basic interaction between Excel and Midas, and how you can do things in Excel, and you can copy some things from Excel, paste some things in Midas, and see the changes in the Midas model. Similarly, also at the end, I will show you one good feature, that is a task pane feature, in which you can schedule a layout of all the things, like what all steps an engineer needs to do in order to get through a model. So all these things will be the major focus of today's webinar. So I will start by showing you how you can first create a default set of properties, a default set of section properties, a default set of material properties, which can be used in different projects. So for that, what you need to do is that you start a new Midas Civil, and in general what you do is, if you have to define a section property, if you have to define a material property, you go to properties, then you go to section properties, add. So you have like composite bridge properties, you add a composite bridge properties, you add a rectangular property. So if I can add a solid rectangle property, and just name is spear cap. Similarly, I can add a lot of section properties, a lot of material properties in a similar way. So I can add a material property like, so in this manner you can add your properties in a file, and then what you can do, you can save it as a default section file. In a similar way, what I have done is that I've already created a file called properties database. I will just open that file and show you what I have done. So here you can see that I have already defined 4 material properties. I have defined around 12 section properties that can be used in different projects and everything. So you can create your whole database and you can save a Midas file like this and save it as like properties database. So what is the use of creating such a file? And that I will show you in just a few minutes. So let's start let's start modeling our composite bridge. So in order to do that, what we do is that we can go to file, we can go to new project. So in order to add those default properties that we have just created, what we can do, we can go to properties, section properties, and there is an option here called import. So what this does is that it imports section properties and other things from another Midas file. So in simple ways, what you can do, you can just click on import, you go to the properties database, open it. It'll open a small dialog box where you can select the sections you want for the you want for this model. Suppose if I don't want these sections, I can just simply keep it this side. If I want these section, I can keep it this side. Similarly, material properties, I can just click on import, again go to properties database, select all the materials that I need, click on OK and close it. So we have all the properties that we need to work with. Now comes the major part of the composite bridge, is to use the composite bridge wizard. So to use it, what we do is that we go to structure and we go to steel composite bridges. This is the steel composite bridge wizard. The moment we click on it, we get a full template of all the things that you can modify in the wizard. And like, you can define the layout of the bridge, you can define the sections that are coming on the bridge, that you can define loads, you can define construction stages. So you can define like the default spans, the major spans that you use, like if I use 35, 60, 45, the deck width. So you can add all these properties here, and you can add all these properties here. You can add the radius, you can add the curve for the curvature, for the multi curves and everything. So all these features, when you add, these are the default things that you do while you are doing in a steel composite bridge wizard. But in case you want to use this template again and again for a different project, so what you can do is that you can create a standard template using all the default span, the deck width, the standard bearing type that you use, the standard pier sections that you use and everything, and you can save that wizard as suppose saved wizard. So you can already see that I have already saved a wizard in this manner and named it as wizard save template. So what I can do is I can click on open, double click on the saved wizard, and I get all the inputs that I had in that wizard template inside this wizard. So you can go to section and you can either change the sections, you can also change the sections now if you want to do it. But all the important features that you have already set in your standard template will be you can see there. So once I click on OK on this wizard, once I click on OK on this wizard, just a minute. Okay, just a minute. So once I click on OK on this wizard, I get the full bridge. So you can see that we can generate a concave bridge, we can also generate a convex bridge in this manner, and we can also generate a straight bridge. So all this can be just modified in our steel composite bridge wizard. So again, if we click on steel composite bridge, and we can see that all the span information are still saved. You can change anything if you want here. So we get a bridge done. Now the thing is that even after you have completed the basic modeling from the wizard, you want to edit a few things inside the model, and you want that to be saved in order to use in your further projects. So I will show you a way how you can do that thing. So you can see that the construction stages have been already done in this case. So what I will do is that I will try and edit few things in this construction stages. Like I have to go to base stage. So you can edit a construction stage using this small button, or you can go to load and go to construction stages. So suppose I change the duration of the stage to 15 days, and I want to change other things like the load. I want to inactivate in the last day. So all these modifications, after you have done all these modifications, what you can do is for now I will explain you one way of modifying things. Midas has an input file for all these things. Whatever you are seeing in the model, whatever properties you are seeing, whatever inputs that you have done, Midas has an input file. So there's a way you can access that input file. To access the input file, you have to go to File, click on Export, and click on Midas Civil MCD file. So once you click on that, it will ask for a name. So we'll just say text file, and then it will open the MCD file. So you can see all the inputs, like this is the node input. So these are all the node coordinates that you have defined in the model. So all the beam element properties, truss element properties, and everything. So what we have changed in our current model is the construction stages. So these things we have changed. So what we can do is that we can just simply copy this small portion and save it. Now if I have a model which doesn't have any construction stage, like if I generate a model from the wizard in such a way that it doesn't have any construction stage. So I have a model in such a way, so I will just show you. So it doesn't have any construction stage properties, anything here. So in that case, what we can do is we can go to Tools, MCT command cell. So we go to Tools, and then we go to MCT command cell. So this is a way how you can enter commands into Midas. So whatever commands, like if you have to enter a node, so you can click on node, click on insert command. So it gives a basic algorithm of entering commands, like I number is the index number of that node. So you can click on 1, give xyz coordinates like 0 5 0, and in this manner if you enter these things and click on run, it will enter that particular node. Similarly, Midas has different commands, like for section properties, You can go to section, click on insert command. So because there are different types of section, it has got so many different command algorithms, but you can just simply follow these notations and enter these commands. So for our case, what we have to do is, because we have the information for stage control and stages, so I will simply click on, I will just simply copy these things from here, paste it in the MCT command cell and run it. Just check it. Copy all these things. Not just a minute. Yeah, probably we don't have the group information, so it's not accepting. So what I will do is that I will just delete all these things just to show you if you have to give the construction stages. And now if we copy, go to MCT command cell. Yeah. So it wasn't working before because we have to have these group informations also, and it wasn't accepting those things. So you can see that easily we can just change something in the construction stages, or and we can copy all those things. We can put it on MCT file, run it to get the file that we need. Now another thing that I want to show you is, suppose if you want to edit this model, suppose if you want to edit the node positions of this model. So let's just select a few nodes. Suppose I don't want this node to be in a straight manner. I want a slope. So let's say I want a slope like this. So how do you go about creating such a slope? So what you can do is that once you have selected all the nodes, there's an option in Midas where you can see the nodal coordinates of these nodes. So what you can do, you can go to node or element and you can go to nodes table. So once you click on nodes table, for these selected nodes, you can see that it has been highlighted in black. So all these nodes are highlighted in black. But if you want to change these nodes in a very effective way, what I will suggest is that you always go for renumbering of these nodes before doing anything, before changing the positions in such a way. So what you can do, you can go to node or element, you can go to renumber node, click on node. Since you can see the start node number is 2945, what this means is that till now 2944 nodes have been created, and whatever node that I will be creating now will be given an ID of 2945. So for a safer side, what I can do is that I can start a new number from 3000. So once I do that and click on by selection, by selection means I'm denumbering only the selected nodes, and click on apply. So now we can see that these nodes are numbered from 3000 to 3133. Okay, so now if we go to nodes table again, you'll find all the nodes that we have selected are already highlighted. What you have to do is that simply you have to press Ctrl C from your keyboard and go to Excel file. So you can see that this is a straight element because the y coordinates are constant for this element. So what you can do, you can, for a slope, for a given slope, you can always calculate the slope. What is like if you have 6 here and if you have 10 here, you can always calculate the slopes at in between points depending upon the x coordinate, and you can change the y coordinate in Excel. So I have already done that thing. So you can see the nodal coordinates here. Like for each element, the nodal coordinates have been changed. You can see here the y coordinates are changing. So what we can do, we can simply copy these y coordinates from here and go to our model and paste it here. So the moment you paste it, you will find that the y coordinates has changed. So what does it, how does it affect the model? So you go to the model. Now if you go to the top view, you find there's a slope that is there for the deck. So in such a manner, you can always change the coordinates using Excel. So if you have the coordinates for the deck already in Excel, you can directly put it inside this. Or if you want to do any modification, like had I done here, suppose had I done here some 20 or something else, you can find that the modification has been done to the node itself. Similarly, in many cases, what happens is that had we not made a deck and a beam model, and had we made a just beam model, so let's just start from the beginning. So you know the procedure. We go to the new project, we go to properties, section properties, import from properties database, click on OK, material properties, import from properties database, click on OK and close it. Then we go to structure, steel composite bridge. We open our save template. So instead of modeling as a deck, as a plate and girder as frame, what I will do now is just model it all frame. Again, for the section, we have to do all this modification that has already been done here. So what I will do is that I will go to section, click on OK. So this is all beam model. There is no plate elements being modeled in this. So in this case, I will present a scenario like in this case, if I'm just selecting the exterior girders, like I'm just selecting the exterior girders. So I will activate these. I will just show you how it looks. So currently it looks like a straight beam. So if you want to modify the section in such a way that it has different slab thickness here and different slab thickness here, so how do you go about doing it? Again, if we generate the MCT file for such a type of section, what we can do is that we can go to file, go to export, go to Midas Civil MCT file. So we see all the commands being given here. So what we'll do is that we'll go to this particular section. This section is a fifth section, that is exterior section 1, you can see here. So we can go to this particular section. So we'll just put this. Yeah, so you can see this is the command that is there for exterior section, right? So what you can do here, I will request all the users to have because of the time limitation, I will just show you how to do it in Excel in a very brief way, but I hope you know all these things. So what we can do is that we can just copy this amount of code from here to Excel. Okay, so because I have the delimiter on in Excel, it is already showing everything in different boxes, right? Similarly, what you can do is that if you don't have the delimiter on, what you have to do, you have to go to data, and then you have to go to text to columns, and then you have to choose the selected amount of data and choose uh, divide by comma or space. So I hope you know all these things. So now what we can do is, now what will be our agenda of doing the things is, if we go to this particular model, what we are seeing is that with the section, with the x length, with the length of the beam, our slab width will be changing, right? So it will, our slab width will be small one here, then it will it will increase with the length, and finally it will be this length. So we have to give so many sections. I hope you understand that for each line element we have to give these many sections. So in order to do that, how you can modify all these things is, simply you have to modify these inputs that are here. So this is the slab input, this is the slab thickness input, and this is the girder to girder, center to center, center to center distance of the girder. All these information you can always find from tools MCT command cell, from section I just showed you before. So all these information about what is what you can find here for the composite section. So what we have to do is we have to change these things. So I will show you already that what I have done. I have I have actually changed everything, like with the distance, with the slope. So for each node number, what is the distance, what is the center to center girder, what is the slab width, you can simply do it in this way, and you can add commas afterwards here. So now what you have to do, you just have to copy all these things, all these information that are already given in Excel. After you have modified these elements, and then you have to go to a text editor file. Any text editor or a notepad will also work. So these are all the information. You can simply copy these things, go to Midas and go to tool MCT command cell. I will just paste it. Now if you click on run, it won't run, because already, although it has all the information, but it doesn't know that what is this? Is this a section? Is this a node? Is this a material property? So in order to identify these things, you have to enter a command just before the input. So what you can do, you can enter a command of section. So you can see that the section command has been given. So beneath this section command, you can see you can find all the sections that you have just created. So once you have done that and close it, you will find there are a numerous number of sections that have been created. And it doesn't take much time. If you had to create so many sections manually, you can just think about the time you have to invest in it. So you have to go for each element and you have to create a new section for it. So what you can do simply, what I have explained is that what you can do simply, you can just copy one command. You can just copy one command and edit that command in such a way that it takes the slope, it takes the from the slope, it takes the slab width automatically and enters it. So you need just simple Excel programming in it. It is not like you have to do anything. You just need basic Excel programming and just copy these things, paste it in MCT command cell, and you will get all the section properties. But although you have got all these properties, but we haven't assigned it to any member yet. So whenever you have created a property but you haven't assigned it to any member, you will always find it highlighted in a blue color. Whenever it has been assigned, you will always find it highlighted in a black color. So we need to assign these properties to the elements. So what we'll do is that we'll select all the sections. So I'm just selecting one end. So I will select all these sections. Now you can find the information of these elements from the element table. So you can go to node element and you can click on elements table. So you go here. So once you click on elements table, you'll find the element properties that have been given. Now again, the elements will be arranged in a very random manner right now because it has been directly modified by using the wizard option. So always better option will be to that we renumber the elements that we need to modify right now. So we'll select all these elements and we'll go to the renumbering element option. This is the renumbering element option. And then we see that the node number, element number, that the newest element will be given an element number of 755. So we'll, for a safer side, we'll just start the elements from 1000 and we'll click on apply. So if we just switch on the element number, you will find that it has been renumbered in such a way. Once you have renumbered, you can select all those elements. The moment you select, you go to elements, you will find that the elements that you have selected are already selected here. So we have to give the properties from, as you can see here, we have to give the properties from 15 to around 69, right? So what we can do, we can simply go to Excel. We can create just a minute. We can create 15, a simple row of 15, 16, 17 like this. And we can choose from here to 69. Okay, go back to the element option, just click on the property and paste it. The moment you paste it, the moment you have done that, you'll find all these things have been turned black. So it has been assigned. So now if you go to the solid view, you will find that this has undergone the tapering. The last element I somehow missed, that's why it is not showing, but you get the gist of it. So this way you can edit these elements using MCT command cell and using Excel and table option of Midas Civil. So this is one way of modification, how you can modify things, how you can go about things. Finally, what I want to show you is that a lot of in a lot of projects, what happens is that due to increase efficiency, what we can do, we can just create a layout of things like if there's an engineer in your company who is very new, so he needs to follow. My audio connection has been lost.
Okay. Hi, sorry, we lost connection for a little bit.
Yeah, so what I was telling is that I will just recap a bit because we lost internet connection in between. What I was telling is that in a lot of companies, what we can do is that if there are new engineers who are coming, who are new to Midas, who don't know that much about Midas, so it's very difficult to find options like this. You have to go to tools, MCT command cell, you have to go to file, MCT, you have to go to node or element. So all these things are a bit of complicated for a beginner, right? So in order to increase the efficiency, what we can always do is you can create a layout in a chart, in a paper or something, and we write like define section properties first, define material properties second, then go to structure wizard, like this. So this is the way we usually go about things. Fortunately, Midas also provides something similar to that. I will now show you the functionality of Midas Civil, which is using of task pane. So you can get the task pane right beside a tree menu here, if you can see here. So once you click on task pane, you go to task pane from here. You can use an import user defined page. First I will show you how to create a page like this. In a bit I will show you. So once you click on task flow, I will just show you how to create a page first. So now what we have to do is that we have to create a layout of the things that we need to do. So I create a title using page command. So you just give a page command like this, and in inverted commas you write steps for steel composite bridge, and then you create a group like a simple class of items that you need to do in a similar inside a group. Like for pre-processing we need to do all the modeling things, all the import, all export and everything. So then you type in task. This task gives the command to Midas Civil to execute these commands. So if you remember how we did our section properties, we went to properties and we went to section properties, right? So how we write our command is we simply write task, and then we write the name that we want to give to the command, like suppose section properties, and then we type in properties, like we did properties, and then an arrow, section properties. So this is the way you just enter a task. So you can see, like, I have created many tasks. So I have created section properties task for section properties. I have created task for material properties. I have created tasks for wizard, renumber nodes, open MCT file. Then what you can do, you can save this file somewhere. So I will just write steel composite tasks, and we have to give an extension of TPD, that is a task pane document, and just click on save. So once we have done that, we can go to task pane here. We can go to task pane from here, and then click on import user defined page, and just double click on composite tasks. So you'll find that this is the title of the task pane. I'll just show you this also side by side so that you understand what it is. So this created the title, this created the group title, all these things created these tasks, and similarly post processing things. So you can see the post processing things are it is not active right now because you cannot access those things now as it is in the pre-processing mode. So once you have done these things, you can just simply click on these buttons. It will automatically take you to the desired properties. So you can import now, then you can go to material properties, you can import the material properties from the database, then you can click on wizard. So it will open the wizard for you. You can open the wizard and things. Then you can click on renumber nodes. So it will open the renumber nodes tab. So it defines all these things. It will open the MCT command window, and it can perform analysis like that. So it will define all those things in a very systematic manner. So it is very easy for a beginner to start with the modeling and other things. Or it will also lead to an increase in efficiency of workflow. Like, you don't have to go and search for options and everything in order to you don't have to go to each and every option. You just get all the menus directly from the task pane. So these are some ways how you can do modeling changes. These are some different ways actually, because other than this, you can always edit all the models from the menu also. Like, you can always translate node, element or move nodes. So I can always click on these nodes, go to node or element, and translate, move it somewhere. So I can always do these things. So these are the ways, that the methods that we discussed today are some unconventional ways of doing things, and faster ways of doing things. So I hope it was I hope this was a good session for all you guys. If you have any questions or anything you want me to show you, can just ask me right now. You can write your questions in the questions box, that you can see it in your menu of webinar. So questions if you want me to show any any other properties, any other methods. Okay, I got a question regarding, does the wizard import the section material properties or the user has do it separately? Yeah, when you open the previously saved wizard data, it brings in the inputs that the wizard in the wizard, but not the section and material properties by itself. So that's why while I was showing you all these things, I imported the section properties and material properties before. If you have noticed that thing, because unless and until you have those section properties or material properties, what the wizard will do, it will simply give the IDs of section and material inside the boxes. So it will simply give the IDs, but there won't be any section properties or material properties defined there. So in that case, there is always an option, there's always a helper button just besides each and every option that I will show you. So if you go to structure, if you go to steel composite bridge wizard, so whenever you have a missing section or anything, you can always click on this small three dot helper tool, and you can import it again. So you can do it in this way. If and another question that I have is that I have had issues with the wizard not rerunning. It says something to the effect of a duplicate load group. Yeah, what happens is that if you have already defined a bridge, and sometimes what happens is that like the mistake that I did today while doing webinar only, is that I forgot to delete the groups. If you remember, it wasn't working initially. So users they tend to do that mistake usually, that if you delete few things but you don't delete a few things, so you delete the elements but you have not deleted the groups. So in that case, what happens, the wizard will identify that the groups have been already defined, and you need to delete everything, the groups, the construction stage analysis data, loading values and everything, for the wizard to rerun and rerun successfully. And then you can open a new file and import section and material properties from the previously saved wizard as well. Another question that I got is that additional step in stage definition. Yeah, what does it mean is that, see, uh, this I will explain you. If you go to construction stage, if you go to load, if you go to construction stage, usually if you see, go to load, like if you have I think you guys already know about PSC box section and other things. So tendons, we do not jack all the tendons on the same day, right? What we do is that we jack some tendons in the first day, some tendons 2 days after, some tendons 3 days after. But in that case, if the duration of the stage is 10 days, so you see that you can activate the loading only either in the first day or in the last day. There is no option of entering in the second day, third day, fourth day. So what does the additional steps does is that it adds those days. So if you click on 2, if you just type in 2, click on add. Now if you see, you'll find day 2. So you can define loads in different steps in between a stage. So that is what additional step does. Another question is, do you have some sort of summary sheet listing all these methods of modification? Yeah, I will get back to you with all the summary sheets, and you will of course get the recording for this webinar also. So I will create a summary sheet for you. Is the MCT command cell the only way to view that each character line number represents what each in the text file? Yeah, definitely, um, because that is where you have to enter the commands and everything. So it because of the MCT file only, in MCT file only you have to define all those things. So the MCT command cell will be the only way where you can find all these things. Also, you can see it in the text file. If you go in the text file initially, it will show you all these things. See, from here to here, these are all algorithms for the coding that you want to do. So if you are very good in Excel and all other things, you can easily manipulate all these things and probably create your own wizard or something like that. Yeah. So are there release notes available for what was changed the most current version of Myra Civil? Yes, they are available, and if you need it, we can always send you. Are there any more questions? Okay, and does Midas recognize curved steel plate girder automatically so that it will design it accordingly, or kinked girders? Yes, it does. I mean, if you have a curved steel plate girder, then you have an option in design to include the effect of that also. I will show you briefly where it is. So if you go to design, composite design, mm, there is an option somewhere here. Oh, sorry. To go to Astral RFD, yeah. So you can see here. So you can give the information about the curved bridge, and it will automatically include the effect of it in the design. Okay, I will just take a few more questions before wrapping it up. So if you have any other questions. Okay, okay, we'll wrap up. Okay, one more question before. So in case of a skewed bridge, the spacing distance A and B are along the beam axis. Along the beam axis. Just a minute. So you're going to structures. What are you talking about? This. You're talking about these things. Yeah, I think you are referring to the concrete one. It's not with the steel one. Anyways, I will get back to you regarding that. If it is along the beam axis or not, I will just get back to you. Get back to your questions after the webinar. Yeah. Yeah, for a curved bridge, is that the instantaneous skew from the center line? Yeah, it's a skew from the center line. And you can also define a reference line. You can just see it here. You can also define a reference line from where you want to define your whole bridge. Yeah, but the skew is always from the center line of the beam axis. Okay, so we will wrap up this session today, and I hope you like this session, and it gave you some new ideas, some new information that you didn't know before, and probably it will be helpful for your usage. So I will we'll follow up all you guys with an email in a few days, and probably will send you the recording of the webinar that we have done, along with some summary of the things that we have covered. And the next training will be on steel composite design. It will be a detailed Excel report review, and it will cover the design features, different design features that is being covered by Midas Civil. And there will be seminar very soon that will be considering on yeah, there will be seminar on 26th of this month, next week, Thursday, and it will be covering post-tension straddle beam design using Excel and Midas. So we'll have a external speaker speaking over this feature. So he has done some verification using Excel and Midas, and he has done some things which have been properly verified using Midas. So we'll discuss those things in the seminar. So thank you so much for attending the webinar, and just have a nice day. Thank you so much.